Jai Hind aspirants. SSB or Service Selection Board is a corporation that is set up by the Ministry of Defence, India. Service Selection Board is the body that schedule, organize and conduct the SSB interview of the candidates applying for Indian military forces. SSB screens the candidates for the military, navy and air force. Today I am here to describe the SSB interview process for CDS, NDA, TA and FCAT. The SSB interview procedure contains two-stage selection process, Stage 1 and Stage 2. Candidates, those qualify the Stage 1, solely they are permissible to look for the Stage 2. Stage 1. This stage consists of Officer Intelligence Rating or Officer's Intelligence Rating Test and Movie Perception or the Picture Perception Test. Stage 1 is a screening test. Candidates are going to be shortlisted on the premise of combined performance in the OIR test and PP and DT test. The Stage 2. This stage is conducted for 4 days. Stage 2 consists of scientific discipline tests, group testing, officer task or GTO task, interviews and conference. SSB selection procedure consists of 5 days. The reporting day. Candidates need to report back to the selection center. The candidates' original documents alongside photocopies are going to be verified. When the documents verification, Personal Info Questionnaire or PIQ forms are going to be filled. PIQ forms. During these forms, candidates got to fill their personal details relating to academic profile, family background, etc. This manner is incredibly necessary. It forms a base of queries which could be placed to an aspirant at the individual interview round. The responses are going to be analyzed by the psychologist of the board. On day 1, we have screening test. The first day involves 3 tests. The first test on the day 1 is Officer Intelligence Rating Test, OIR test, paper 1 and paper 2. The first day involves OIR test, which consists of verbal and non-verbal tests. The aspirant gets 2 booklets having 40 questions each. The time allotted for each pamphlet is 15 to 17 minutes. Now the second test on day 1 is picture perception. In this test, an image is displayed for 30 seconds and the aspirants need to note down its details such as gender, age and mood of characters, action performed by them, etc. The aspirants then create a story based on that image in 4 minutes. Now the last and the third test on day 1 is group discussion. A group of 10 to 15 aspirants is formed from the batch and each aspirant needs to narrate their story and discuss it in the group to reach a common consensus. After this, the results are declared and the shortlisted aspirants are retained for the subsequent round of testing and the remaining aspirants are sent back home. Now, day 2 consists of psychological tests. These tests aim to gauge an aspirant's psychological suitability for the defense forces. First test on day 2 is Thematic Apperception Test, TAT. Aspirants are shown 12 images including 1 blank and they must write a story for 4 minutes. The time limit is imposed to gauge the natural response of each aspirant. The second test on day 2 is Word Association Test, WAT. 60 words are displayed in front of the aspirants for 15 seconds each and they need to write down a sentence that comes to their mind on seeing the word. For example, the word on the screen is operate. Sentence could be, he operated entire event and led it to be a fantastic end. Like this, word association test is conducted. Now the third test on day 2 is Situation Reaction Test, SRT. In this test, a booklet is given to the aspirants with 60 real-life situations. They must write their reactions to those situations. The total duration of this exercise is 30 minutes. SRT is one of the most experimental and intelligence assessing tests. This test's simple aim is to examine the candidate's personality. Now the fourth test on day 2 is Self-Description Test, SDT. Aspirants must write a few paragraphs covering their self-description for the context. For instance, writing the opinion of their parents, teachers, friends, etc. and the qualities the aspirants wish to develop. The time allotted for this test is only 15 minutes. Now on day 3, it comprises of group testing. The first test would be again the group discussion. The group discussion is conducted on 2 topics back to back on some current events or social issues. The debate is usually 20 to 30 minutes each, and an officer from the board is assigned to each group and he will listen to the conversation between the aspirants. The second test on day 3 is group planning exercise, GPE. Here, the aspirants are clubbed into a group of 10 to 15 people and given a story based on a model with specific issues. Aspirants need to identify the issues and provide a practical solution for them. Third test on day 3 is Progressive Group Task, PGT. Aspirants must collectively overcome the 4 given obstacles in a group for which they are given some helping materials and a load with some rules. The fourth test is Group Obstacle Race, GOR, commonly referred to as the snake race. Each group must complete against another group for 6 given obstacles. This is a physical test. The last test of day 3 is Half Group Task, HGT. This exercise is like PGT, but it is conducted with a smaller group over a single obstacle only. Day 4 also comprises of some tests in group. The first test on day 4 is Lecturate. Each aspirant is presented with 4 topics, of which he needs to choose one and speak on it for 3 minutes. The second test is Individual Obstacles, IO. Each aspirant needs to clear 10 given obstacles in 3 minutes, marked from 1 to 10 based on the difficulty level. Now, Command Task, CT. Each aspirant is made the commander and is given an obstacle similar to HGT, which they need to overcome with the help of their subordinates. The fourth task of day 4 is Final Group Task, FGT. The entire group is reunited and required to complete the assigned task similar to PGT in the stipulated time. Now, the personal interview or PI. Personal interviews are generally conducted on days 2, 3 and 4 after the respective daily tasks have been completed. Interviews are usually related to everyday experiences, work, education, family, hobbies, academic achievements, general awareness, etc. Now, the day 5 begins. Day 5 is the last day. The assessor starts with a closing address, then the conference of aspirants starts. A board conference is conducted where all the officers who assess the aspirants in the previous days are present. Each assessor discusses among themselves respect to the suitability of an aspirant. Each aspirant then appears individually before the board where their total assessment is narrated and the committee recommends accordingly. The borderline aspirants are given certain situations and a collective decision is taken. After the result is announced, the shortlisted aspirants are retained for further medical examinations. And hereby, our 5 days SSB process is completed. This was the whole procedure of SSB interview. Comment down your queries in the comment section. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.